It is a busy Saturday evening in Bogota. The city streets are very loud. The weather is warm and nice. Parents are walking slowly on the concrete sidewalk. They are holding their children's small hands. School is starting soon in the city. They are walking toward a popular local bookstore and stationery shop. They just want to buy simple notebooks, pens, and reading books for their kids. A heavy car sits parked right outside the large glass windows of the busy shop. No one pays any attention to it. Inside the deep trunk of the car sits 200 pounds of high explosives. A man watches from a safe, quiet distance. He holds a small remote control tightly in his cold hand. He waits for the happy crowd to get bigger. He waits for the young children to gather near the front door. Then he presses the button. The massive explosion tears the entire street apart. Thick glass shatters into 1,000,000 deadly pieces. Bright fire shoots high into the dark sky. Screams of pure terror instantly replace the happy sounds of the city. In one single second, innocent lives are completely destroyed. Books are burning in the bloody street. How did this happen? What happens next? But this didn't start here. Before we go deeper, make sure you're subscribed. We post stories like this every single day. To understand why a simple bookstore became a target for a deadly bomb, you must understand the dark mind of Pablo Escobar. In the 1980s, Escobar was the absolute most powerful criminal in the world. He was a billionaire. He was a ruthless cartel boss. He commanded a massive, violent army of loyal hitmen. He controlled the local police. He controlled the powerful politicians. If someone stood in his way, he offered them a very simple choice: take a large bribe or take a bullet. Most people quickly took the money. He thought he could buy absolutely anyone. He thought his massive wealth made him completely untouchable. He deeply wanted to be loved by the normal people. He wanted to be a respected politician. But there was one specific group of people he could never buy. He could not buy the intellectuals. He could not buy the brave journalists, the writers, and the smart thinkers of Colombia. These brave people used words, not guns, and to a dangerous man like Escobar, words were incredibly terrifying. But that was only the beginning. Escobar had a massive, fragile ego. He desperately wanted the country's rich elite to accept him. He wanted to be seen as a legitimate, smart businessman. But the clever writers and the brave newspaper editors saw right through his fake smile. They boldly published long, detailed articles about his dirty drug money. They wrote powerful columns heavily exposing his brutal murders. They told the regular people the absolute, unfiltered truth. A man named Guillermo Cano was the brave editor of a major national newspaper. He wrote fiery, intense articles calling Escobar a dangerous criminal. He warned the entire country that the violent cartel was destroying their future. Escobar was furious. His dark ego could not handle the public insult. He felt completely exposed. He could not simply bribe a man who cared only about the honest truth. He knew this could destroy everything he had built. If the smart people kept writing, the public would eventually turn against him. So Escobar made a cold, dark decision. If he could not buy their silence, he would brutally force their silence. What happened next shocked everyone. Escobar declared a brutal, bloody war on the truth. He did not just target rival drug lords anymore. He started specifically targeting anyone with a loud voice and a sharp pen. He sent his ruthless hitmen to assassinate Guillermo Cano. Cano was shot dead right in his car while driving home from work. It was a massive shock to the entire nation. A brilliant writer, a peaceful man, murdered in cold blood on the street. But Escobar did not stop there. He wanted to completely erase the truth from existence. He ordered his men to park a massive truck bomb outside the newspaper's main office. The heavy explosion destroyed the giant printing presses. It completely destroyed the building. He wanted to physically destroy the very machines that printed the words. He thought this extreme violence would finally make the intellectuals quiet. He thought pure fear would make them drop their pens forever. There was no way back now.
And that's when everything changed. Instead of hiding in fear, the brave journalists pushed back even harder. The writers absolutely refused to be silenced. They joined together in secret. They shared their limited resources. If one newspaper was bombed, another newspaper printed their important stories. The smart intellectuals started talking loudly on the radio. They started writing new books. They educated the normal citizens about the extreme dangers of the cartel. They clearly explained how the drug money was heavily corrupting their beautiful country. Escobar was rapidly losing control of the public narrative. His deep paranoia grew worse every single day. He realized that ideas are completely bulletproof. You can easily kill a man, but you cannot easily kill a powerful idea. He became totally obsessed with punishing the educated class. He started targeting judges who read the law. He targeted professors who taught the young students. He targeted anyone who dared to think critically about his empire. He wanted to send a message so loud and so terrifying that no one would ever dare to read or write about him again. But he had no idea what was coming. The government finally started to fight back. They aggressively pushed for a strict extradition treaty with the United States. This meant if Escobar was caught, he would be sent to a dark American prison. This was his absolute ultimate nightmare. In an American prison, his billions of dollars were completely useless. He could not bribe American guards. He could not order street hits from a tiny, cold cell. The intellectuals heavily supported this new law. They wrote endless articles demanding that the government sign the treaty. The extreme pressure on Escobar was massive. He felt the walls rapidly closing in around him. He was losing his tight grip on the country. He decided to unleash absolute terror on the civilian population. He wanted to break the strong spirit of the entire nation. If the smart people wanted to support the government, he would make them pay in heavy blood. But that was only the beginning. He formed a dark, violent group with other drug bosses. They called themselves the Extraditables. Their famous motto was, "We prefer a grave in Colombia to a prison in the United States." They started setting off heavy car bombs every single day. They bombed busy shopping malls. They bombed local banks. They bombed crowded city streets. Escobar wanted the regular citizens to beg the government to stop fighting him. He wanted to create so much extreme pain that the politicians would surrender. But he specifically wanted to hurt the people who bought books. He wanted to hurt the people who educated their children. He absolutely hated the middle-class families who read the news and opposed his power. He wanted to hit them where it hurt the most. What happened next shocked everyone. It brings us directly back to that warm Saturday evening in Bogotá. The year is 1993. Escobar is on the run. He is hiding from the angry police. He is desperate, angry, and incredibly dangerous. He orders his men to target a busy shopping center in the northern part of the city. This area is heavily filled with middle-class families, students, and professionals. These are the very people who read the daily newspapers. These are the people who support the strict rule of law. The cartel men steal a regular car. They pack it tight with 200 pounds of heavy dynamite. They park it directly in front of a popular bookstore and stationery shop. It is the absolute busiest time of the week. Parents are inside buying school supplies for their young children. They are buying fresh notebooks, pencils, and reading books. They are peacefully preparing for the brand new school year. They are completely innocent. The cartel hitman watches from a safe distance. He sees the loving mothers holding their children. He sees the young students browsing the wooden bookshelves. He does not care at all. He presses the button. And that's when everything changed. The blast is absolutely deafening. It rips through the entire shopping center like a violent hurricane. The bookstore is completely destroyed in a single second. Thick smoke fills the busy street. The horrific damage is done. 20 innocent people are killed almost instantly. 4 of them are young children. 70 more people are severely injured and bleeding. The street is covered in shattered glass, burning paper, and blood. Colombian television quickly broadcasts the horrific aftermath. A crying mother is shown frantically digging through the burning rubble. She is screaming loudly for her missing son. She felt trapped in a waking nightmare. She looks directly into the news camera and cries out, "My God, why haven't they caught him?" It is a scene of pure, unfiltered evil. Escobar thought this extreme terror would force the country to finally submit. He thought blowing up a bookstore full of families would make the smart intellectuals surrender forever. But he had no idea what was coming.
This horrific bombing did not break the people. It completely destroyed any remaining sympathy for Pablo Escobar. In the past, some poor people saw him as a helpful Robin Hood figure, but you absolutely cannot be a Robin Hood when you blow up children buying school books. The entire country united in pure anger and deep disgust. The government completely stopped negotiating. The police and the military hunted him with absolute relentless force. A special heavily armed search block was formed just to track him down. Even rival criminals actively turned against him. His massive empire began to rapidly collapse. His loyal hitmen were killed or captured. His secret money was seized by the state. He was forced to hide in dirty, small houses, constantly running from the law every single day. The intellectual class absolutely did not stop writing. They wrote louder and harder than ever before. They heavily documented his horrific crimes. They made sure the entire world knew exactly what he did to those innocent families at the bookstore. He desperately tried to kill the truth, but the truth hunted him down. The dangerous chase lasted for many long months. Escobar became highly paranoid. He could not trust anyone. He was completely isolated from his loving family. He knew this could destroy everything, and it finally did. On December 2nd, 1993, the smart police finally tracked his secret phone call. They found him hiding in a middle-class neighborhood in Medellín. The armed police completely surrounded the small house. Escobar tried to escape. He climbed out the back window and ran fast across the red clay roof. But there was absolutely no way back now. The police opened fire. Heavy bullets struck him in the leg, the back, and finally the head. The most dangerous man in the world fell dead on the dirty roof tiles. The massive reign of terror was officially over. The final outcome was completely clear. Pablo Escobar's violent drug empire was entirely dismantled. His billions of dollars could not save his life.
His extreme violence could not defeat the incredible power of the written word. The brave journalists, the judges, and the intellectuals he tried so hard to murder eventually won the long war. They happily survived to write the final chapter of his dark history. The sad families who lost their loved ones at the bookstore never fully recovered from their deep grief. The long-term consequences of his violence left deep, permanent scars on the beautiful country of Colombia. But the brave nation slowly rebuilt itself. The young students happily returned to school. New bookstores were beautifully built. The people continued to safely read, write, and think freely. Escobar tried to violently bomb the future, but the future completely outlasted him. In the end, power always comes with a price. If you liked this video, make sure you subscribe and follow the channel. We upload new videos every single day. And trust me, the next story is even more intense, more surprising, and something you definitely don't want to miss. I'll see you in the next one.